Look, man, I'm trying to tell you, we were supposed to come on Tuesday, but due to some technical difficulties, it was all my fault, right? So today being Saturday, we going if today if it's not Sunday, if it's not Monday, if it's not Wednesday, it must not be.
It's not Tuesday. It's not
Damn sure ain't
Tuesday.
Tuesday. What's
It's
going on?
damn
Down in
sure.
Sports in the building. Myself, RM Desk, aka Left-Handed, aka Lefty Nice, aka Kip Stachios in the building, and I got my Code D in the house as always, rocking out without a doubt. You oughta
What's
figure,
up?
aka Browski, aka High Ceilings is in the house. Um, we missed y'all. You know what I mean? Browski had some Christmas shopping to do. I had some computer shopping to do. So we in the building, back live in effect. It's a Saturday. We're gonna stretch it out, championship Saturday and all that good stuff. We're gonna talk about it all. We're gonna kind of freestyle through it, but we're gonna have some fun with it as we do. All right, we're gonna light a
Always.
match some stuff. We're gonna light some stuff on fire. But again, at the end of the day, our parking spots are already taken, so we can say what we want to say. You
That-
dig? Um, the Boykin kid. I mean, even though that's old news, we want to contrary and contrast, right? You got the
yeah.
Trayvon Boykin kid who was running off at the Yak. Then you got the Victor Snow kid who was running off out of bounds.
It's
We
a lot
we
of
we gonna
running.
get it. Yeah, we gonna get into all of that. We gonna get into NBA. We gonna get into some college basketball. Broski's favorite time of the year. The women's getting their thing on. Audi Cooks is killing it once again. Some Mo. Winter meetings start tomorrow, I think. Yeah, I think the winter
Hmm.
meetings start tomorrow. We're getting to that. Um, and of course, we're gonna rock out, have some fun, do what we do, make it have whatever's gonna have.
You play too much.
That's Browski over there, y'all. What up, Browski?
Not much, chilling here. It's getting cold outside, so you guys bundle up. I mean, it was biting yesterday. I was like, what in the world is going on? Like somebody turned the thermostat all the way off. But you know, just chilling, watching some college football right now. The championship weekend. Georgia's giving it to Alabama in the SEC championship.
As per
Man,
usual. Hmm.
exactly. As soon as I saw it, I said, "Oh, I said this is going to be a repeat of what has been happening for the past couple years
Past few
with
years. Yep.
Georgia."
Hmm.
Um, Kid Ty Simpson, threw a pick earlier.
Yeah. Yeah.
Georgia just capitalized on it by scoring the touchdowns, 14-0. Georgia, defense is rolling. Earlier we was talking, at the Big 12 championship, Texas Tech and BYU, and Texas Tech just stumped all over BYU. It was like, is this a championship game or just a regular season game? That's how bad that Tech, beat them. So like after like that win, do that change how you see Texas Tech?
Nope.
Okay. Yeah, same.
And, and the reason being is because, like we said backstage, BYU maybe shouldn't have been there in the first place, regardless of record.
True.
BYU come from I forget BYU came from the WAC conference.
Yeah.
So I didn't make up the name. They made up the name. It's the WAC
Now
conference,
they the whack.
right? So they got whacked. You know what I mean? And again,
Literally.
Texas Tech, played like we belong and you don't. Simple as that.
Yeah.
And no disrespect to nobody, but when your quarterback is rocking number 47,
That's a weird number for
you know what I
a
mean?
QB.
So that's kind of crazy right there. But again, championship Saturday is going down. The college football playoffs, 12-team field will be announced tomorrow.
That's so
So
fast. It's so fast.
So what happens? Yeah, absolutely, Basky. Because we were talking about the first, what did we see in week 3? And we was talking about. I remember people talking about Texas and Alabama, like they had no way of seeing the
Yeah.
playoffs, especially
Yeah.
Alabama. You know what I mean? But here we are, first weekend in December,
And
and
then the championship game.
in the championship game. But again, here's the point of the season where Browski, it doesn't get personal. It gets, how you say it, you do your job.
Yep.
Now, this is ass waxing season. So Georgia, if things continue to move on like they move, they put up a 40 against Alabama. Then how does
Mm-hmm.
Alabama look in the committee's eyes? If Georgia hungs a 40 burger on them in the SEC championship, you know what I mean?
Yep. Yep.
So again, I want to really get your thoughts on that, Kimmy. How
Um.
how, should we have a selection thing on Tuesdays during the season, or is that too soon? What's your thoughts on
Uh.
that?
Well, I think Sunday is soon. I think Tuesday is the right amount of time because we get to really.
Every
It gives
week?
them. I mean, it gives them a chance to digest all the games that happened this weekend and analyze it. There could be some things that was missed. You could be overvaluing or undervaluing a certain game. Like you said, what if Georgia put 40 points, against Alabama? Like now, Alabama what ranked what 10th?
I think
No,
9th or 10th or something.
ninth, like ninth. So if they're ranked like ninth, Georgia put up 40. Does that knock them out the top 12? In the top 10? What if a team, what if two teams get 40 points put on them? How do
Depends on
you?
what two teams it is.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. So, like, what if I don't know? For instance, what if Ohio State put 40 points up on Indiana?
Now, how
How
far does Indiana drop? That's the
how
question for
far did
that game.
Indiana drop, and then does Georgia move to second?
Or does Texas Tech? Right. Let's go.
Or
Come on,
Texas
Browski.
Tech? Yeah. So I feel like doing it on Sunday is a little too quick of a turnaround. I think Tuesday will give them more time to really analyze and have these quote unquote closed door debates on where each team should land. But
Okay.
at the end, it's going to be what it is. Somebody gonna be happy, somebody gonna be mad. You can't please everybody. Somebody gonna feel salty because they've been left
We've been
outside.
said that. That's right. That's
You
true,
know,
Browski.
so
We've been said that.
yeah. So at the end of the day, you can't make everybody happy. But I still think like Tuesday, I'll be like, yeah, that's cool. Sunday, wow, that's kind of fast.
Um, the question, when I say too soon, like we don't need a college football playoff rankings in October.
Nah.
After Thanksgiving, when sugar honey iced tea gets real, and you've played a fair amount of games, right? Because now it's kind of confusing. You got the strength of schedule, you got this squad beating this one, what conference you play. It's all it's confusing. So now we were talking behind the scenes. Miami, which is my squad, dug themselves a hole by losing 2 games. But we
Yeah,
said at the beginning of the season, Browski, it's going to be a couple of teams in the college football playoffs with 2 losses, right?
and we have
And
seen it.
Miami beat Notre Dame.
Yeah.
So now the decision for the college football playoff committee, if it comes down to Miami right here and Notre Dame neck and neck, who do you take?
Yeah, I would figure that you'll take the team that actually beat them. So
Thank you.
I can't see why Notre Dame is ranked higher than Miami when Miami actually beat Notre Dame. Like to me, common sense would say, you know what, these two teams got identical records. We can look at their losses. And then it's like, whoa, wait a minute, Notre Dame lost to Miami.
Right,
Oh,
right.
so let me flip it, and then we're gonna put Notre Dame at 12, and then we put Miami, at what 11? What are they like 9, 11? No, no, what are they like
Either
10?
11 or 12. They're in there somewhere, but
Yeah, yeah, I think
um,
they're like 11. But so yeah, so to me that's a little wild to me. But again, like I said, you have these closed door discussions and these secret meetings, and you owe somebody a favor or someone grease a little bit, grease somebody's palm a little bit more than the other, and you get
send your
into
emails to
the
Browski.
and then next thing you know, you leapfrog a team that has beat you in the regular season, and
and
now
everybody in the
you're
committee and everybody in the committee looking like this.
exactly like, oh wow, and you have one person like, well, look. Miami beat Notre Dame. They beat them, and everybody's like, "What? Who's?"
Yeah, right.
But
So
we're
it's
not
nice
talking about
outside.
that.
Why don't we? Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
we're not talking about that. So I mean, we all know that sports is corrupt, and college football has become one of the most corrupt sports out there. Even when you expand the bracket to 12 teams, there's it seems like there's even more corruption out here
Right.
because now it's
Let's go,
like,
Kim. Hey,
you know,
absolutely.
I'm the 13th team. What?
Tell me
How am
more.
I number 13? I'm
Right,
trying to get in here. So
right.
it it's a fun, hectic time in sports, and we love it.
Yep. And um, like we said, we always preface our situation when we first came on. All the talking and pontificating and and craziness that we do, what we say and we stuff, it always boils down to the CREAM. That's the dollar bill, y'all. For y'all,
Cash rule everything around
the
me.
old school, for the old school crew, that's the
Yeah,
dollar bill, y'all. You know what I'm
cash
saying?
rules. Yeah.
So again, we just have fun talking about it from our perspective. Even though we may not have played the game, we're gonna talk about that too. I really need to get into that. We may not have played the game on that particular level, right? But some of us have been around the game, dealing with the game, doing the ins and outs of the game since we was knee high. Because why? We're interested in the game.
hmm
We're interested in what happens beyond the stripes and beyond the court and beyond the field and all of that. So that's why when we talk about it, we may not have played, right? But we talk about it with that confidence and level like we know what we're talking about. Plus, we got the gift again.
Exactly.
So again, we're gonna get into that. I just wanted to let people know what it is. Because now the justification and the excuse is, oh well, so and so played the game, you didn't play the game. What the hell that mean?
Yeah.
I passed English class and so didn't. So when I decide to elocute and execute on what I
Uh-huh.
see, right?
Yeah.
Because I didn't play the game, that has no justification meaning on somebody who played the game but can't explain the difference between a down and out, a hook rap, and a button hook.
hmm
So don't we do this because we have passion for it, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So I mean that's my retort to those people. Now, as far as back as the college football playoff thing we're talking about, the only team for me, Kimmy, that has
Uh-huh.
total, what do we say? That has total kind of like can move away from the pack regardless of what they do,
hmm
is Ohio State.
Yep.
If Ohio State loses, will they still be a top four? I would say yes.
I'll say yes.
If
They
if
probably wouldn't be. They
Indiana,
wouldn't be number one. They might be three
what if
or
Indiana
four.
beats Ohio State by 3 touchdowns?
Whew.
Yeah,
Um.
yeah.
They'll still be top four.
Okay,
They
okay. They
still.
still
They'll
have a
still. They'll,
bye.
they'll,
They still
they'll
have a
still
bye.
be. Yep. They'll still be top four. I mean,
Okay,
they probably be number four.
okay.
They probably be
So,
number four.
and again,
Yeah.
you when you talk about top conferences in the country, I mean, again, as much as we try to give a lot of these conferences play, it's we're the same and usual suspects. You know what I mean? Big Ten, you got Ohio State. SEC, you got Alabama and Georgia, right?
Yeah.
You got
Yeah.
the Big 12, you got Texas Tech and BYU because of how everything's been switched around. It's how BYU got in there. And when
Yeah.
BYU goes back to look at that, they're going to be like, oh, this is Big 12 football.
This is big. This is the big boys. This,
Mm-hmm.
this is how the big boys play, and and
Mm-hmm.
and like you said, with the schools changing, conferences, generally we'll look at the SEC like the heavy hitters, but the Big Ten has been going strong for like the past 2 years. Not just Ohio State, but with the addition with Oregon, Oregon had a good run.
Right. Still
Um,
does.
Indiana, Indiana was a surprise. I didn't. If anybody said to you, at the beginning of the season, oh, watch out for this Indiana team. They may make a run. They're
Ain't
lying.
basketball season yet.
Exactly, they're lying. So now we have these quote unquote basketball schools turning into football schools. It's wild. So like teams like Texas A&M, Ole Miss is wild to see, those type of teams when you got a team like Texas that everybody jumped on and number one, they was, the number one overall, at the beginning of the season, everybody's Texas this, Archman and that.
With his
And then when we
Arch
look at
Manning
the
name on the trophy. Right, right,
yeah,
right.
oh, he Heisman winner already. He's gonna go into the league, and then they played Ohio State, and it was like, wait a minute, pause. We all gotta take a step back. Wait a minute, this kid looks like I don't know a kid who's not ready for the big dance yet. So.
You out here playing like Jamarcus Russell. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My bad.
Oh damn,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My bad. My bad. I'm sorry.
damn. But I mean, it's been a very exciting college football season. One thing I say about college football, it never lets you down. It's always exciting. It's always on the edge. I always like college football because it's a sense of urgency. It's like you can't lose. Once you lose, you're done. You
Out of here.
know, you you can't you strive for perfection the whole season, and once you get that one L, now you looking over your shoulder, you checking the rankings every week, you looking at everybody else. You may lose your position. You may be the sixth team this week, and then next week you 15. And you like, oh my god, how did I fall so low? It's wild. So I love this time of the year. I love it.
Um, I think for me that when you talk about college football, um, the first 9-10 weeks are like the preseason.
Yeah.
Everybody jostling for that that ranking, those top 12, right? But then you still got some conference champions that won't get considered because another conference champion has the end to the college football playoffs. So you go from 8 to 12, started with 4. You go from
Yeah.
8 to 12. Eventually it's going to be 16. um, and to me that dilutes the process. We was happy with it when it was 4. And they said 8, people was going crazy. Then we was happy when it was 8. Then they said it was going to be 12. Oh, he's going crazy. 12 is too many teams, and this and that and the third. What's going to happen to team 13? And somebody's always going to have a beef. To alleviate that beef, what are they going to do, Kimmy? Yeah, we'll add 4 more teams into the party and make it even more crazier. Because now, team 17 is going to be like, what the hell? What about me?
Well, it's always going to be another team.
It's always going to be another team.
Yeah.
So, in the year maybe 2100, will the college football playoffs be like the NCAA basketball
Oh
tournament?
God, that would be terrible.
All they doing is expanding the field. That's all they keep doing. For what?
Like to me, 12 is perfect because what 12 does for me personally, it makes the bowl games more important because we had a trend where, oh, my quarterback is not going to play in the bowl game because he's going to be preparing for the NFL draft. you know. So now that we have a 12-team playoffs, the bowl games are now more important because if you lose in the bowl game, guess what? You're out the playoffs. You lose your chance of winning a national title going to the next week. So I think 12 is the ideal number. They go any more, then we definitely looking at a money grab. Then we definitely looking at, I don't know, Kleenex bowl. TCL Roku TV bowl. You know, like we already have ridiculous bowls now. So just imagine if they add four more teams, or then
Listen,
another four. It's going to be crazy.
we already got the Snoop Dogg thing. Why we can't have a Wu Tang bowl?
Jay Z bowl,
The Jay Z bowl. Why you know what I mean?
Biggie
Why you know
Smalls
what I mean?
bowl,
You
Outkast
know,
bowl. Like what are
Mob
we
Deep
doing?
bowl. Why you know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's going to get crazy. But we here to talk about it, and that's what it is. Um, I'm feeling like right now, a lot of things have to happen for Miami to get in. I'm just gonna wait till tomorrow, 12 o'clock, and they make the announcements or whatever the case may be. I'm feeling right now that Miami should be in. If they don't get in, I won't be mad, but they don't have nobody to blame but themselves, right?
Um,
Go ahead, go ahead.
I mean, what we just saw from BYU, I feel like Miami should be in because BYU is 11, Miami right there at 12. So you can't. So no one can argue that Miami's better than BYU. You know, I will feel as though they should be in.
And then they will try to put and see how they would try to finesse it. Would be you got the Big 12 conference versus the ACC. But the ACC to me is just as big or even bigger than the Big 12. Look at all the teams in the ACC conference.
I
You
mean,
know,
I'm kind of looking at the rankings, and I'm gonna have to say that there is no ACC team in the top 10. Texas
well,
Tech
I
is
mean,
four,
what number is Miami?
Miami's 12, BYU is 11, Utah is 15. So Miami is 12. The next ACC team that's ranked is 17th, and that's Virginia.
And they playing in the championship
So
against Duke.
So I gotta say, if they want to talk about conferences, the Big 12 have an argument there.
I mean, we got Robbie Danksworth in the building. What up, Danks? Pace.
What's up?
Um, yeah, I mean, I really I talk about the ACC. I really wasn't counting teams I should have been counting, like Florida State. You know what I mean? The C word. We're not even gonna mention them. 'Cause- hold up, stop the presses. Wait a minute, 1 second. We deserve some kind of Nobel Peace Prize because at the beginning of the season,
Oh
we tried to
God.
tell you, and you that Clemson
Hmm.
was gonna be garbage. We didn't throw
Yep.
no punches. We didn't throw no stones and hide our hand. We said that Clemson wasn't going to do nothing, wasn't going to be nothing, and wasn't nothing going to happen with them. While everybody else, oh, Clemson's got #1 written all over them. They're a national championship contender.
They're
Dabo
gonna go
Smith,
undefeated.
they're going to go undefeated. They got the quarterback, kid Klubnik, is going to have a Heisman year. He's going to be right there in the no. And we didn't get mad and we didn't jump for joy or none of that. We just told you with a straight face, like we're telling you now, that Clemson was going to be garbage. We didn't wait till week 3,
No.
week 5. We didn't do that. We
Nope.
told you from the door before Labor Day
Yeah.
what it was with Clemson. So
Yeah.
we're going to give ourselves a round of applause, a pat on the back. We didn't see Penn State coming, though. You know what
No,
I
I
mean?
didn't see that collapse.
I
I
said
didn't
that,
see
but
that collapse. That.
But I mean, but it all worked out for James Franklin. Salute.
Yeah, yeah, he got no job.
You know what I mean? It
He
all
got no
worked out
job.
for him. So Browski, what do we do now when you have, this team that is playing right now, Georgia and Alabama, playing for the SEC title and playing for a spot, a bye. What do you see happening as far as a team like, I hate to say it, it's only making sense because this is not the basketball tournament. James Madison. A team like James Madison is like this year is like a Boise State or
They're
something
just
like that.
happy to. They just
This
happy to be here. They're just happy to be here, because regardless whoever plays them, it's going to be that 1 versus 16
They gonna
type
get
of
the ass
deal.
whooping. They gonna get the ass whooping that BYU got today.
For well, or the ass whooping that TCU had got when they was in, the top four. You know, never see them again. You see them guys no more.
Word up.
So
Um, yeah. So I think a lot of things are happening. There's getting ready to happen. A couple other championship games going on tonight. So right now,
yeah.
Georgia is doing the normal 1-2s against Alabama is 14-0. Um, let's move on because we didn't get a chance to talk with the people in regards to week 13. So we're gonna talk about some things. Roski, I'll let you set it off first. I know you got to talk about your Eagles. You got what's it, Black Friday game?
God, it definitely was a Black Friday game. It was definitely a Black Friday game that we lost to the Bears. Um, it's been an up and down season. The offense has not been the
Super Bowl
offense.
hangover.
No, it ain't no Super Bowl hang. You can't be 8-4 with Super Bowl hangover. That's wishful. To see, that's wishful thinking. But I mean, it is what it is. Again, the goal is to not be undefeated. It's not college. The goal is not to be undefeated. The goal is win the championship. Um, we still, had the chance to win the NFC East for the first time. In a while they have been a back-to-back NFC East champion. Um, we had some, kind of upsetting and disturbing news that Jalen Carter is going to be out on Monday. He had some procedure done on his shoulder. He's been um, dealing with that all season, playing with an injury, and now he had to get surgery to not nothing major, something minor, but he's week to week. So we seen what the defense looked without Jalen Carter in the first week when he spit on Dak and got thrown out
I
the
was
game.
getting ready to say that, but I was like, well, I mean,
Yeah,
karma be waiting for you, boy.
I mean, I wouldn't say karma, but we see how the defense is without him. People just got to step up. Um, we couldn't we couldn't stop the Bears running game for nothing. One thing I would say about the Bears, no hating or nothing like that. Ben Johnson has one hell of a run scheme. You know, the blocking is amazing. The scheme is just crazy good, and he's making Caleb Williams look like a decent quarterback because he's coaching for his skill set. He knows that Caleb can't throw 25-yard bombs, 30-yard bombs down the field, but he know that hey, my guy can throw a 10-yard pass, and I got some speedy guys that run after the catch. I know I can get the ball out of his hands quick, move in pocket, keep this guy moving, decent run game, defense playing okay. So I mean, it is what it is. Chicago's number one in the NFC. I mean, who had that on their bingo card? Nobody. Not even
Nobody,
people in Chicago.
nobody,
So
not even people in Chicago.
yeah. So I don't want anybody to be like, "Oh, I knew Chicago was going to be good." You didn't. Um. So that's wild. This year has been a year that out of the ordinary. The some of the guys that you're used to seeing these positions, like the Chiefs, is fighting for their playoff lives.
Literally,
Um,
right?
yeah, like the fighting for their playoff life. Baltimore, Cincinnati. I mean, even Buffalo at an extent because the Patriots is, you know, running away with that division. And again, who thought that that was going to happen? Not even the people in New England saw the Patriots winning the division in this fashion, like this.
Not like this.
So the usual suspects are, struggling or in the hunt or on the outside looking in. It's it's been a it's been one of these weird seasons where you got, Chicago, New England, and the Colts, all at the top of their division, and then you have a division in the NFC West that has three teams with the same record that most likely will make the playoffs. So it seems like if you look at the NFC playoff bucket right now, it's basically like three teams from the NFC West, and then each division winning on the other divisions, which is crazy. Um, so who knows? I mean, we got we got the Chargers this week. I thought that we wouldn't have to deal with Justin Herbert. This guy said, "Oh, what are you talking about? Yeah, I had a little hand procedure, but I'm gonna play." I'm like, "Okay, guy." So he's playing. So we're gonna see, how we do against the Chargers. Thank God that we got the Raiders next, because that will give us a little break, you know. But I'm just looking for we need 3 wins to clinch the NFC East. So out of these next 5 games, Chargers, Raiders, Washington, Bills, Washington. We got 3 wins in us. That's all we need is 3 wins.
If you don't win 3 games out of that, you don't deserve it.
If we don't win 3 games out of these 5 games, 3 out of 5, then yes, it would be the collapse again. The 2023 collapse. It would be, we went 10-1 and then lost every game after that. So that's how I will view this season if we can't win 3 games to clinch the NFC East. Because all last week I kept hearing from these Cowboys fans, "Oh, we're back in it. We're back in it. We want to make a play for the NFC East. We can take over the division." And then you lost to the Lions. And now your playoff hopes are out of here. I told the Cowboys fans after they beat us, I said, "It's okay. We'll see y'all next year." They didn't understand that. They didn't understand when I said I see you next year, because I already knew
They don't
that they weren't
understand
going to
that,
make the
Browski.
playoffs. I already knew. We'll see you next year. It's okay. It's all right, guys. We'll see y'all next year. You know. Um. What about your Bucks? Because the South is
Um,
getting a little tricky
I
too.
feel like I kind of feel like you.
Mm-hmm.
Our schedule is going to dictate the respect put on our name. Our schedule is very, very light. With 5 games we have left, then we play Carolina twice. We play Miami. Then we have a Atlanta game maybe. I know we got cream puffs. I know that.
How you
Um,
gonna wait a minute? How you gonna call the Panthers cream puffs?
because they are.
Dang, no respect for them, huh?
No, not at all. Um, until they beat us, then we put some respect on the name. But right now they're in the way of us getting our fifth division title in a row, and we're getting healthy.
True.
That's the thing. Some people start to matriculate through that door. You know what I mean? And looking really decent on that injury report. So that's another thing that's giving me a little bit of hope. You know what I mean? That we can get this thing done. I'm kind of like you, Browski. If we can't, finish, 4-1, because it's my Buccaneers. We're not gonna run the table. It's my team. I already know. We're not gonna run the table. It's a game. It's gonna be one of those games that we should have won. We're not gonna win. So for me, the only way that would give me um, vibes that we can kind of like really, really have a strong run through the NFC, finish strong, and go healthy, be healthy, get ready to go into that playoff game. It's not like we're gonna get a bye, right? Hopefully we can, manipulate some things, some help happens, and we can get a game on at home. But right now, our season is ahead of us. Whatever we do dictates how people look at us in the league. Now, let me say this to you, Kimbrowski. You know me, I'm not one of those dudes to be like, "Oh, we was injured and this guy was out." No, I'm not here for
Mm-hmm.
that. Let us do what we were supposed to. We were supposed to be Super Bowl contenders, and we were supposed to go deep and make runs in the playoffs and this and that and the third. The teams we
Mm-hmm.
beat, we're supposed to beat. The teams that we're gonna have to see if we're gonna make a strong playoff run, we can't beat. So that thinks to me like, are we? What did we talk about a couple weeks ago? Contenders, pretenders, power puffs, cream
Yep.
puffs. What are we doing?
Yep.
So for me, the next few games, the remainder of our schedule is going to dictate how we're going to move throughout the rest of the season. Now, Mike Evans coming back, Bucky Irving coming back, some things on defense coming back. So we'll see. So we should
Mm-hmm.
be put ourselves in a position to playoff. A playoff thing is I'm 90% that we're going to make the playoffs.
Okay.
95% that we can win a division
Okay.
because we have division games in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
So again, let us do what we do, handle our business. You know what I mean? Haven't heard that Baker Mayfield's a hero stuff in the last couple of weeks. Now have we? Right?
Nah, they
So
slowed that down.
they toned it down, right, Kimmy? They toned it down, like,
They
and
have.
for me, and you already know, I don't pray on nobody's downfall or nothing. But I'm not jumping out the window calling you, oh, you're a hero guy, and they just got no, my dude. My thing was when it came to the hero thing is you doing too much. You probably play too much what? Hero ball.
Yep.
So that kind of leads me to my discussion in regards to Baker Mayfield and my Tampa Bay Buccaneers is like we still the jury's still out on us because we haven't beaten nobody that's real. We beat Seattle. We beat the teams that we beat. It's like okay, whoop de do. We played the Eagles. Played the Chiefs. Played the Lions. So,
Yeah, I hear you.
what Tampa Bay Buccaneer team are we gonna have from week to week? Is my only thing, Kimmy. That's it. That's it, Yada. That's where we are. Um, the case of the diarrhea mouth. We don't need the Hardy Boys. We don't need Nancy Drew. We don't need McMillan and wife. We don't need the man named Hawk. We don't need Beretta. We don't need Barnaby Jones. We don't need Batman. We don't need the Wu-Tang Clan. We don't need none of that. The dude that runs off at the mouth is going to be talked about. Especially if said dude shouldn't run off at said mouth. Russell Wilson don't bother nobody. Russell Wilson's an easy mark. So easy that a dude who shall remain nameless until we decide to put his name out there runs off at the yap and talks about something that didn't happen recently. It happened back in the days, not on the Boulevard of Linden. Right. Like, where do these dudes get off at? And yeah, I'm gonna say his name because Browski's, on here so she don't get fined. Trayvon Boykin, you got your own issues, Playboy. You like to put your digits on people who really not in a position to digitize you back, like what I did there. So you running off at the yap about a man who invited you to into his home, and his family was there. And you wait till after the fact, way after the fact, to decide to tell, like you telling a story, like you putting people on the game, like you telling an episode or something that happened to you that everybody gonna look at you like you Puff Daddy. No, Trayvon Boykin, why you didn't talk about your scenario? You chose to talk about Russell Wilson because I thought you was gonna that was gonna get you some points. That man invited you into his house, around his family, and that's all you could do. That's the thanks you get, and that's these new cats. They can't wait to tell a story, and we're gonna take a little time. Myself, more myself than Browski, because Browski's the good cop in this situation. I don't care about you. Period. Because what you do, you try to justify it. And I'm not here to justify it. Because somebody else did some stuff like that and got their jaw broke. Ain't that right, Geno Smith? So again, man, I don't think that you should have done that. No, you wasn't in, you know, the right frame of mind to run off. And you was doing it like that was some. You was just running off. These dudes tell their stories like they almost worse than Fat Joe. Like they cannot wait to get a microphone shoved in their face to tell you about what something that happened 8, 9, 10 years ago. They can't wait. So now you have to suffer the slings and arrows of your repercussion act. That man don't owe you nothing. That man just showed you who he was. But you know what's more important, Browski? Trayvon Boykin showed Russell Wilson who he was. That's more important than the whole thing. And the reason why we're talking about that particular situation, because it leads to another one. There's a kid named Victor Snow from the University of Buffalo. I'll let Browski tell you the story because I'm trying to give the dude some. I'm trying to let him breathe. I'm trying the best way I know how, and it's not Victor Snow. They're not buying it, cousin.
No.
Go
No.
ahead,
So,
Browski.
I don't know if y'all seen it. You know, there's a video going around. Victor Snow played for played for the
University of
Buffalo.
Buffalo. Hmm.
Playing for the Buffalo. Yeah, University of Buffalo. They're down 15 in the fourth quarter.
That's important.
Down 15, fourth quarter. It had to be around like 4 minutes left. I think in the game, like a little bit over 4 minutes left in the game. Quarterback throws beautiful pass. Boom, right on him. Victor Snow catches, shake the defender off him. Straight shot to the end zone. Nothing but grass ahead of him. Not a defender, nothing. He got a clear shot to the end zone. This guy is taking off. Even the announcers is like, oh, this guy is gone. No one's going to catch him, and he steps out of bounds. Just like that. Exactly what he said. Word for word, that's what the announcer said. And when you see him, you know, by just hearing me saying, oh, he stepped out of bounds, you'll think, oh, he must have been tiptoeing the sideline. No, he was like inches away from the sideline. He was running straight and then started to rear off to the sideline. So, you know, we were talking backstage, and, you know, everything that has been going on in the sports world with the betting, we got, you know, Chauncey Billups, you know, involved with the mob, lining people up. You got the kid, you got the guy, uh,
Harry Rozier,
Terry Rozier giving
Damon
up,
Jones.
Dame Jones giving up injury reports saying this guy is going to be out. Rozier saying, oh, take me out. I'm only going to score 9 points. I'm going to go with the under.
Right.
And then you have this kid who has nothing ahead of him just run straight out of bounds for no reason. So, me being who I am, you'll look at it like, oh, well, somebody had the money on the under. Either under the total score, under his personal yardage, under how many touchdowns this kid scores, under how many passing yards the quarterback get. But at the end of the day, somebody won off of that young man's decisions to step out of bounds. And what I was telling Left backstage, I said, this is crazy, and we'll come to a point where we can't even trust sports anymore. Something that we have trusted over the years.
Let's go, Browski.
Even
Let's
when
go.
there has
Yep.
been minor inflictions here and there. Yeah, we had the scandal with Pete Rose in baseball and the steroids and stuff like that. We got over that. And then we had the Dinah Hughes situation in the NBA with the refs and stuff.
Let's go,
We got
Browski.
over that. You know, we continue to have faith. in these sports franchises. Now we come into the modern day where now everybody is betting the over under on the phone. This is our bookie now. This is our bookie. Remember back in the day you had to call the bookie
Right.
or go see
Or
the
see him on the
bookie
side. You know what I
to
mean?
go see him. Now the bookie is in our pocket, in the
Oh, you're
palm of
right.
our hands.
Right.
We can place a bet any time of the day
Or
for
not.
any sport. We might not even be watching the sport, but
Right.
we can place a bet on it.
Right.
So now that this has gotten in the way of what we love, sports, we have to question these things. I can't trust sports anymore. Everything is questionable. Now we're questioning, like, well, why did this guy step out of bounds? Somebody in his family must have had a bet. He must have had a bet. Somebody had a bet on something, and not only did his team loses, but the game didn't matter. Winning the game didn't matter to him. Making sure that he did not score, making sure that he didn't get any more yardage was more important than the actual game. So now everything is being side-eyed. Um,
Everything.
we
Everything.
can't, yeah, we can't trust something that was so sacred to us. You know, sports was one of the things that it didn't matter who you were. It was something common that we all enjoy. You can hate you can hate your neighbor all day, but you and your neighbor are both rooting for the same team. They win, y'all both yelling, high fiving each other.
Right. Right.
Y'all
Right.
squash
Forgetting about the
everything
beef.
that
Right.
happened for that
Hmm.
moment because we're both in such joy and celebrating the same thing. But now it's like, all right, well, maybe I'll watch this game because, you know, oh well, the playoffs don't really matter because they already decided who gonna win. We're talking about sports like we're talking about the presidential election. Well, they already decided who's going to be the president, so why should I vote? Why should I watch this game? They already decided who's going to win this game. You know, I thought being able to bet on the game or on do these prop bets was a cool, fun thing to do. Now it's like I just feel like I'm wasting my money now because
Ah. Mm.
if I bet in, I don't know, Kevin Durant to score 25 plus points and he plays in all 4 quarters plus overtime and then he stops scoring at 23 points, what am I supposed to think? I'm betting on Luka Doncic to get a triple double. This man get 34 points, 10 rebounds, and 9 assists. What's
Ah.
happening?
Right. Right. Right.
What what
Right. Right.
what are we talking about? So these are things that we question now, and it kind of take the purity and the joy out of sports. I mean,
Um.
how you feel about that? What do you
I
you
feel the
know?
same. I feel the same way you feel about it. Like again, it's coming from a perspective of watching it for a longer period of time and getting caught up in it and believing in it and basing my, um, I don't know, you want to say being because I'm a sports head.
Yeah,
So all the stuff that I've been watching, you telling me that all the stuff that that looks kind of shaky and suspect, we was right the whole time because y'all was fixing it, but y'all was just
yeah,
playing us out right in our face.
yeah,
I implore people to go back because now all of a sudden this video is starting to circulate. I talked about this a long time ago on the show when we talked about things that didn't happen in sports that was supposed to happen. Mike Renfro, Houston Oilers against the Pittsburgh Steelers, AFC Championship game. I said it then because I was a kid. I remember at 12, 13 years old. I said it then when it happened live because I'm watching it in my room on my little black and white TV, whatever. He was in mounds. I don't care what you say. It was before the replay and all. It was back in them days.
hmm
I don't care what you say. Mike Renfro was in bounds. Houston Oilers should have won that game. The Oilers should have went to the Super Bowl. Now you count a lot of things that happened, you know, back then. Even you go back to 1972 in the Olympics when the Russian basketball team beat the United States, and that was controversial,
Yep.
right? If you want to take it back to, you know, the delayed 8 count in the Liston Ali fight. I mean, there's so much now that you think about it,
That's a lot of things.
right?
Yeah.
They've actually changed rules and then changed them back. Burt Emanuel, don't play with me. That was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Rams. Burt Emanuel. Then they changed the rule. They made the Burt Emanuel rule. Then they said they changed it. No. So you telling me what we was watching back then, all the time you was telling us we was wrong because we didn't play the game. We don't know what we're talking about because we didn't play the game. We need to shut up because we didn't play the game. Now you gonna tell me that we was right all the time?
Yeah. That's wild.
And we still didn't play the game. We know how the game go, and we really know how the game go now, don't we?
Yep.
Shohei Ohtani, Terry Rozier, Damon Jones, with your good diarrhea of the mouth behind.
For real.
That one was really bugged out. Like, you could have did that way different.
Yeah.
Not telling you how to do your thing because you're a professional. You played the game. We didn't. We don't know what the hell we talking about. We just up here looking, you know, suave and debonair, like we don't have a care in the world. Just up here talking about sports that we should have nothing to do with, right? Because we never played the game, right?
Correct.
Knock it off. I know a dude right now that pontificates, elaborates, enunciates, but his word has started to sour. And you know who realizes that before anybody else? He does. I'm talking about Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah.
I'm not going to dwell on it, but you had cats like Stephen A. that came into the game that averaged 1.2 points a game. Yeah, we do the knowledge, right? But you were so eloquent in the way that you used your words. That was your sport. Being able to get people to gravitate towards what you say in regards to watching a team play basketball in the Philadelphia 76ers, specifically Allen Iverson, in a game that we never played before. But you know what? We rallied behind Stephen A. Yeah, Stephen A. is right. Stephen A. know what he's talking about. We'll do it. When Stephen A. first came in the game, you had to have a Webster's dictionary, a Webster's thesaurus, right? To understand where he was coming from. Because he was trying to beat you in the head with all these electric company Channel 13 words.
He definitely did.
Absolutely. And once the
Still do.
it still does, right? And once the light started to shine on him, now you want to talk. That's because he used to be exclusively basketball, Broski.
Yep.
Exclusive. I remember when he had his show, his panel interview show. I remember that. He had Jason Williams on there, but when he got into his situation, right? So then all of a sudden, it starts to bleed over into baseball, bleed over into hockey, bleed over into football and other sports. I'm listening to this dude. I'm like, I even had a conversation with Stephen A. Smith. I've had a couple of conversations, face to face and over the phone. Over the phone, it was on his show, Stephen A. Smith radio show, New York. How I remember, it was during the World Series when the Royals and the Mets was playing in the World. Don't play with me. The Royals and the Mets was in the World Series, and me and Stephen A. was talking baseball, and he couldn't mess with me. And if he was sitting here right here today, I would tell him. And the next guest, he cut me off because you know who was coming up behind me? Tim Kirkshin. ESPN got the baseball dude, Tim Kirkshin. And what I got from the conversation from Stephen A. and this is going somewhere, Browski, because this is going somewhere. Stephen A. Smith never played the game, but he's revered and acknowledged as one of the top sports talkers that ever did it.
Mhm.
So, as far as we're concerned, he's doing what we do, but on a larger scale. He's turned
Yeah.
that into a $20 million a year gig. All this, I will do. But guess what, Browski? Never played the game. So how does what he does and did differentiate from what we do? Somebody tell me something, and it all leads back to my point. We never played the
Mhm.
game, but we could talk it like a mother sucker.
Yeah.
So go ahead, come on, Kimmy, come on.
And I mean, it's all about because he got the machine behind him, that allows him to spread his message throughout the world. But um, I mean, it's the same thing that we have been saying since we started this thing together. Um, he can say whatever he wants. He has the hot takes. That's what it's all about. Hot takes, hot phrases, controversial statements, and we know that for a while now. And it's funny that we're talking about this guy because me and my friend were talking about him the other day. That the show is getting stale. Before it used to be organized chaos. Now it's just chaos. You know. Now it's just a circle of people saying the same things in different ways. There's no original opinion. It's like once they have one opinion, everybody sticks to that one opinion and they run it through the ground. So I feel like something's going to change soon. Um, we
Hopefully.
already we already see some change. He's not on the NBA countdown anymore. Which is crazy because he's a basketball guy.
Right.
More than anything, he's a basketball guy. So to see him not on there um, was quite surprising. Um, I kind of think that they may be looking to cut ties with him soon, and then maybe he just go do his own thing on the podcast. I probably would prefer to see him do his own thing on the podcast. I think that would be better for him so that he can be able to say what he really wants to say. Because I feel like his hands are tied being on ESPN because they're, a Disney brand. And I feel like if he does step away, it'll be more of like he'd be more like a Howard Stern, like a shock jock, like political, sports, entertainment type of thing. I can see him, doing that. But to me, the show First Take right now is actually to me is unwatchable. It's unbearable to watch. Um, him not having someone to constantly debate with um, is making the show still. Um, I don't care if, to listen to Cam Newton all the time. He's another guy that just gives me hot takes,
Let's
say
let,
something
let's pivot
controversial.
from Stephen A. to Cam Newton. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, dude. He's a guy that gives you hot takes and say something controversial. Um, he speaks with a lot of emotion. It's not coming from an objective perspective. It's not coming from facts. It's more emotion. It's like if he doesn't like you, he's gonna trash you or point out your your flaws. But then we can just look at all of his flaws, because I will never forget on the biggest stage, you fumbled.
You're right.
The ball fell right in
Absolutely right,
front of you,
Browski.
and you didn't jump back on it, and that killed the whole game. From that point on, you was out the game. Biggest stage, and you never been back there. but now you sit there and you criticize people who've been to the biggest stage multiple times and have won and was an MVP. So to me, some of his quote unquote opinions or his statements is more coming from a emotional place than a factual, statistical point of view. That's that's just my opinion about Cam Newton, and I don't really feel like he fits on that show. I feel like he should just stick to what he was doing, his podcast thing. It was actually pretty good until I guess he seen that he could pivot to ESPN. Then he start, you know, let me say something controversial. Let me put a hot take out there. Had the internet out there going wild. Even though I may not believe it, but I'm just gonna say it anyway. Something crazy. Let me jump on the bandwagon that everybody else is jumping on. Everyone's talking about how great Josh Allen is. Okay, cool. Let me start talking about him. Let me start, feeding the machine and saying how great this guy is. I just personally, I'm not a fan of him on the show. Um, Truthfully, I think the show can end, and I'll be okay with it.
Wow. This is where we come to the fork in the road. The proverbial, I got you. This show we talked about some people, are, their opinions and are held in high regard to others that they play the game. Here's another fine example of a person who played the game to a high degree, but in the biggest moment, failed to come through. Straight like that, basically that. But I will say this. I like Cam Newton's show. Browski, I've been watching it. I've been watching it for the last couple of weeks. I've been watching little clips or whatever, stuff that he says or whatever. I don't see nothing controversial about it. I don't see that. I agree with a lot of stuff that he says. But coming from the perspective of a person who played the game, I don't look at, how the message is being delivered. I look at the message of what do I walk away from? What do I walk away with? And the stuff that I hear Cam Newton say is like he had a show when he was trying to run plays. He was drawing plays on the whiteboard. I would rather hear Cam Newton talk about that than Stephen A. Smith.
Well, you see, that's
hold on.
no. I agree with you on that. See, that part of his podcast I like, but when he's on First Take, he's totally different. All that's out the window to me. Is weird.
I don't even watch him on First Take, so I'm getting all that from you. So I don't even watch him because my thing with him on First Take is he's trying to make a fool out of Stephen A. Smith, him and Ryan Clark. So again, I think that when you talk about that, maybe you have a point. Well, I see Cam Newton now when Cam Newton's sitting in the chair talking to Millette about why he got set up, and that stuff I can do without. I don't need that in my life. You know what I mean? Because I'm not really interested in hearing Cam Newton talk about somebody else's sexual exploits. All right, I'd rather hear Cam Newton tell me why the wide receiver, the wide, not the wide, the wide receiver has his options on a 1-2 post, or how the play gets what's going on in the quarterback's ears between plays, right? That type of stuff. That in-game stuff that you wouldn't get from a Stephen A. or Dan Orlovsky, right? Dan Orlovsky played the game, quarterback, right? Allegedly, right?
Allegedly.
So again, that's where I'm with Cam Newton. So when you say, well, he goes on First Take, he's a totally different guy. All I see that as, like you said, Kimmy, is entertainment.
Yeah.
I'm not going to walk away from First Take with nothing. Like you said, it used to be a show where you could get that knowledge and, you could have, a debate against guys who are talking about real tangible stuff. Now it's just who can yell the loudest, right? Who could use the biggest word? Who could make the chick laugh? Who could, you know what I mean? That's what First Take has turned into. I'm not even interested in watching it anymore, right? So, I'm saying that to say, and we all tie everything together. This is our show over here. We don't go talking this and that, and the third, and it's a big hodgepodge of, how they say it, word salads, right? So we started off the show talking about players who talk about sports who haven't played the game versus ones who have. Who brings more importance? Whose opinion is more valid, right? So all of this, we go Cam Newton, we go Stephen A. Smith, we go Yada Bear, we go left-handed, we go anybody who talks about sports, right? Unless you played the game, because you got a lot of podcasts out there. You got the Up in Smoke joint. You got whatever. Everybody got a podcast.
Yeah.
Right. The 7 a.m. in Brooklyn joint with Carmelo. I'm feeling that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And again, at the end of the day, it's what you gravitate towards. If you gravitate towards a whole lot of fluffernutter, you're gonna watch the Fluffernutter podcast. But if you want to walk away with a intimate knowledge from somebody or people who played the game, you know what I mean? Because we could, Browski forms her opinion, I form my opinion, you form your opinion. It might be 3 different opinions
Exactly.
about the same thing.
Yep.
So again, at the end of the day, you are so entitled. Don't get it twisted. We're not over here telling you can't have an opinion, because we do opinions every week during football season. Everybody has their picks.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody picks who they like. Some weeks you're hot, some weeks you're not. You never played the game, but you watched the game enough to know and say, well, I'm going to pick the Eagles this week, because I know they're going to beat whoever they playing. My lock is going to be, because I'm guaranteed, I've been watching them long enough, this is going to be my lock. So again, at the end of the day, it's from your experience eye. What your eye shows you.
Yep.
So everybody's opinion is valued, yo. You know what I mean? Just don't come over here talking about dog and cat food when we're talking about the Eagles and the Cowboys and the Knicks and the Sixers. Don't come over here talking about some nonsense. That's it. And again, at the end of the day, we could talk to you for 2 hours and bounce from topic to topic to topic to topic, but it's all going to come back to the same thing. That's why we got to keep the gab. So again, we on the building. 2025 NFL Week 13 chop up. That's Browski over there. You already know who it is over here. That's Browski over there. All right. So anything else we want to get into? We're gonna get into any Shador and Jerry Jeudy.
I mean, well, what can we say? I mean,
There you have it. There you have it. I am going to say this, Jerry Jeudy. Like we said in the beginning of the show, people are going to show you who they are. They don't need help. Jerry Jeudy is still that same dude, right? I'm not going to, I wasn't there on the sideline with you and Shador, but that could have been handled a whole totally different way. They're not going to look at you as the guy that's trying to, give Shador some advice. They're looking at you as the troublemaker, the weirdo dude.
exactly.
Right? The dude that's holding Shador Sanders back. And that's all I'm going to say on that, Browski. We can leave
Yeah,
it alone.
like it was weird. It was weird to me. I'm looking at him like, bro, like second game, he's a rookie.
Yeah. Let's go. Come on,
What are
Browski.
we?
Yeah,
What are we
yeah.
doing? Why are you doing this? Hey, this is something that when we go in the locker room, we'll talk about it.
Right,
Talk
right.
about it at practice. Talk about it at the offensive meeting. We'll talk about this. But to do it on the sideline, like you, like kind of like you reprimanded me on the side, like bro, like what are you talking?
Everybody watching.
The season is over. The season's done. The season been over since week 1. What are you talking about? Like, again, like you said, Jerry Jeudy being Jerry Jeudy, which is why Jerry Jeudy is on the Browns. And I'll leave it at that.
See, it don't take much. Neither of us have ever played in an NFL stadium or played an NFL game in our life. But we can tell you through the added years of Browski's experience watching, my experience of watching, we could both tell you that Jerry Judy is a waste of shoulder pads,
Yes.
a waste of cleats. Now, however you want to slice that and make whatever, you can do what you want to do. It don't really matter to me. I don't owe nobody nothing. I'm not beholden to nobody, right? So again, at the end of the day, you can see for yourself. You might use other words besides garbage, or no good, or a bum, or suspect, or
Yeah.
shouldn't be in an NFL uniform. Any of those terms you can use. But Jerry
Speak,
Judy, go ahead, Kimmy, go ahead.
I was gonna say, speaking of bums, I mean, he is an Alabama guy. Alabama's getting spanked 21-0.
It's about yeah. Now we're about to have the conversation about Kalen DeBoer again that we was having earlier. The same conversation about Kalen DeBoer that we was having when they was losing. Alabama was losing those games. Then they went there between the hedges, and they gave out Georgia the business. Now everybody's like, "Oh, Alabama, Ty Simpson is the Heisman."
Ty Simpson looking like,
Where's Ed Lover? Where's Ed Lover at when you need him? Come on, son.
yeah,
Come on, son.
yeah,
Come on. You know what I mean? Like, and again, Browski, we talked about it earlier again in the show. Like, these Tuesday things, they have everybody, messing up our groove, right? What my man say in what's the movie? The carjacking joint from New Jersey Drive. What my man
yeah.
Heavy D say? Rest in peace. What my man Heavy D say? Don't F with my groove. This is my groove. Don't F with my groove. And I think that's what's going on when you have, they can't wait to put these college football rankings out and have everybody going crazy, like myself and yourself, and the people that are in those high positions, every week to go crazy when we know this thing is going to, I'm going to use one of those Stephen A words, it's fluid. It's going to fluctuate. The team that's number one in the first week of October may not be number one the third week of December. So
No way,
that was
yeah.
my point. Instead of having all these, oh, this team is this and this team is bowl eligible. Nigga, you only play 2 games. Everybody's bowl eligible. You only play 2 games.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
that was my point in saying that, Yada Bear, that they maybe need to wait a little while before they put these rankings out, and then every year that the importance is something else. Head to head, strength of schedule. What are we doing? When you got the same teams, no matter what their circumstance is, they could lose week 1 like Notre Dame did against Miami. So don't miss me with that. Right? We talked about Alabama being out the situation. We talked about Texas being out the situation. Alabama played themselves back into it. That win against Georgia in between the hedges
Yeah.
said a lot and brought them back in the shine. But here we go, Browski. Show and prove day. Somebody showed up and somebody proved that they don't belong.
Yeah.
That's a down to end sports thing. Don't bite. Show and prove. Somebody showed up and somebody proved that they don't belong. We don't want to see that nowhere else, or it's going to be a problem. Somebody showed up and somebody proved that they don't belong.
Yeah.
So again, at the end of the day, I feel like when we talk about it, we're talking about it from a perspective that we don't owe anybody anything. We call it how we see it.
We see it.
And that's the only way to call it, man. No, I don't owe nobody nothing. Nobody's in my pocket. None of that. I don't have to say stuff to kind of like make. No, son. We don't do that. We don't have to do that. That's why at the end of the day, when we sit back and we watch how things pan out, and things work out, we be like, Now, who said that back in September? Who said that back in October? But we don't, have 1,000 videos out saying, hey, look at us. We said that over there. We said this over there. No. We're going to tell you we said it. You're not going to believe us. And that's fine.
It's
Because
cool.
when you go back to look like we know you're going to do, you'll see that we said it. Now you're going to shut the hell up.
Exactly.
I ain't playing with you. Browski ain't playing with you either.
Nope.
And at the end of the day, all we here to do is to talk about it. We're not gonna put no aspersions on nobody. We're not speculating that so and so might be this and so. No, because 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now, oh, I remember so and so said this. I pulled it up on YouTube, but so and so said whoopty whoop. Now you gotta
Mm-hmm.
explain. If you say what you mean and you mean what you say, your explanation tomorrow is gonna be the same explanation you have today. That's bars right there. That's bars. So again, man, I just feel like just because we did not play the game on a professional level, we speak to it on a professional level. I could take this one with me, this one right over there, that one over there. You might have to take that Eagles shirt off though, but it's all good. I could take this one right over there and have any sports conversation with anybody, and I'll be good. So, and again, we don't like the same teams. We have teams in the same division.
Yeah.
The Knicks and the Sixers.
Yep.
We got teams that have seen each other in the World Series and are good enough to see each other again. We can talk about the Yankees and the Phillies. We got teams that play each other in the playoffs. We can talk about the Eagles and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah.
We could talk about the Flyers and the New York Rangers or whatever. You know what I mean? 'Cause that's what we
Mm-hmm.
do. So again, at the end of the day, man, we don't feel like we know everything. And I'm gonna speak for Browski. I'm gonna speak for Browski on this one. We don't feel like we know everything. We just feel like we know more than you. That's the best way I can put it, Kimmy. You know
Hey,
what I mean? Because
I
when
I agree.
people watch the show and they'll be like, they always think they know that this, they did. No, they don't. No, no. It's you that think that. All we doing is saying what we believe in and what we know. That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
So, if your best option is to say that, oh, y'all never played the game, how would you know? How come I know more about your team than you do?
They can
It's
explain
simple.
that.
This shit ain't hard. It's not hard at all. You just gotta know how to defend yourself and speak to certain stuff and things of that nature. So we in the building, man. Down in Sports Talk, we're gonna leave the football thing alone. We're gonna keep it moving and slide on over to some NBA basketball. All right. Um, I got my New York Knicks doing
Uh,
what they do. Um, I'm
oh
feeling what they're doing
no.
right now. We still like,
What's going
we
on with my
quarter forward
internet?
into the season, a little bit more than that. And I'm liking what we're doing right now. NBA Finals. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. Let us get to the All-Star break. Let us get to the new year, right? And talk about some things. Down in Sports Talk, we are in the building. And that's basically the run is right there. We basically in the house, doing what we do. Um, as far as the Knicks are concerned, man, I just think that we have to kind of like find our footing and be more um, consistent
There we go.
in what we're doing. I like us, how we move around on the offensive end. Browski's back in the building. How we move around on the offensive end. Defensively, I think we stepped it up a little bit. The kid Yabusele that we got from the
Exactly.
Sixers. You know what I mean? He ain't showing that same fire and verb and brimstone that he showed last year because we couldn't wait to get this dude. He was a beast. But things happen. But right now, I just think that we're where we need to be. I like Mike Brown. I'm saying it again. I like Mike Brown. I think Mike Brown brings a different dynamic, and I'm not going to really get into depth about it yet because again, we're at a point in the season where they're just they're putting together that what do we call it, Browski? Um, sample
Oh,
size.
to get the samples, yeah.
Yeah, they put together a nice little sample size. Where are you at with your Sixers? I see the kid VJ Edgecombe is like I hear more people talking about VJ Edgecombe than talk about Cooper Flag.
Yeah, VJ's having a solid rookie season. Um, he had a little injury. Like he started off hot. He had a little injury. Coming back. Now that Paul George is coming back again. Um, Joel, on his minutes restriction. And then you got Maxi doing Maxi things. Again, we're still in a state of unknown because unfortunately, all of our money guys haven't really played together. Um, at one point, the team was supposed to be Joel's team. It now has turned into Maxi's team. It's kind of giving me that Anthony Edwards cat situation in Minnesota. That when Anthony came to the team, next thing you know, it was Anthony team. Cat was out the door. Kind of feeling the same way here, where now instead of Joel like passing the torch naturally, I feel like the torch fell and Maxi picked it up and was like, "This is my team now." Joel not being the same player that he was before. We've only had one season where he was dominant, and that was his MVP season. So I feel like his health has gotten in the way. Um, to me, he won't ever be that same dominant player that he was
Oh yeah.
before. He is now becoming one of the guys, and he's one of the guys that we paid all this money to, so he's have to be here. There's nowhere else for him to be but here in the Sixers uniform. Same thing with like the Paul George situation. He's on the court, off the court, on the court, off the court. He had a sprained ankle. He was gone for a minute. Now he's back. He's getting his groove back. He had like a 20-point game the other day. People trying to like blow that up. I'm like, well, with the amount of money that we paying him, I expect him to have a
Well,
20.
let's go, Browski.
This
Yep.
is my
Yep.
expectation
Yep.
for Paul George. It's not like he had a 50-point game. You're like, oh, he had 20 points.
Right.
Okay,
It's not like he averaged 35 for the week.
exactly. He had 20 points. That's the least he can
Supposed to
do
do.
for
That's the
the
least
amount
you
of
can
money
do.
we
Right.
paying.
Right.
Yeah, the amount of
Right.
money we paying him. So right now we are in the state of we don't know. But we have no clue. I know that we have to make some type of move during the trade deadline, um, to kind of like bring this team together. It's just we're in a state of unknown, and it's weird. We're not terrible, but we're not good enough. And it's crazy because when we look at the East, how we say, oh, the East is so wide open. But now I'm not looking at it now. Jason Tatum talking about he's coming back in December. Tyrese Halliburton talking about he's coming back soon. So the tables can turn real fast, especially in the NBA. The NBA flips like flapjacks real quick. You could be at the top of the East one week, and then 2 weeks from now,
You
you in the
scratching
10th.
for a playing tournament,
Yeah,
Browski.
you in the 10th seed and whatnot. So
Right.
it's I don't know really what to expect from the Sixers. This is a year when I'm just looking at them like, what do we do to improve for next year? I'm not really like looking at this season and like people hear me say that they might think, well, that's wild because it's still super early, anything can happen. Well, I know my team. I know what I see. And what I see is not championship basketball. What I see is a team that's incomplete, and sometimes you can make addition by subtraction. So I
We
feel
seen that.
like,
Yep. We seen that.
somebody have to make a move. And to me, the only move to really make is to get Paul George out of here because it's not working. It's not working. He's not working because he's rarely on the court. I can't have two of my three guys rarely on the court. I already had to deal with Joel not playing back to backs, minute restriction. My left knee hurt, my right knee hurt, my back hurt. I don't know, my knee hurt again.
He had my back.
Yeah, it's like I can't play this game. I can't play back to back. So I can only play 20 to 25 minutes a game. It's like, what's
Son,
happening?
your load management needs load management.
Exactly. So I can't have two guys that I'm paying 200 plus for both on load management. One has to go. And the guy that has to go to me is Paul George because nobody's going to take this Joel Embiid contract. That contract is ridiculous. I can see someone taking Paul George. I think Paul George has to get out of here. But that's just me. All I do is watch the games and pray that Tyrese Maxey stay healthy the whole season because this kid is playing lights out. Um, Definitely an all-star. Definitely should be in the early MVP conversation. He's definitely carrying the team. He has matured so much.
Tulip plays. What the hell is this?
You know.
I don't know who that is. What's good?
So
What's good? What's
I am definitely looking forward to seeing more of Maxie's growth and see more of his leadership on the Sixers team. You know, do I think Nick Nurse is the coach for him? I don't think so. Um,
Dang.
the things that I saw Nick Nurse do in Toronto, it's like he came to Philadelphia and he lost all of that. He lost it all. You know, I saw him pull greatness out of Kawhi,
Y'all in there. You was gonna say that.
Pascal Siakam, made this guy into a superstar. You know,
What
made
happened to him?
made Scotty Barnes look respectable, look like a really good player. Like I don't know what's going on with this guy. It's like
They had Fred Van Vliet too, didn't they?
yes, and
The
look
Toronto
what he
team. Yeah.
did. What he did, you know. I just think it's I don't know. I kind of starting to feel like how you felt about Tibbs. Like the team was going to be good, but I don't think Nick Nurse is going to be the coach.
Okay. Tulip plays says salute Tulip.
Yeah.
Maxie's cool, but his teammates only work part time, so there's
Yes.
not much he can do. Can I say
Exactly.
something? Can I say
Go
something
ahead.
as a Knicks dude looking at y'all down I-95?
Mhm.
I'm gonna say this. That team is Maxie's team.
Yes.
That's Maxie's team. It's been Maxie's team for the past 4 years. Maxie is, to me, in my opinion, and we watch the
Mhm.
NBA, and not because Philly's in close proximity to New York or whatever. We see whatever happens down there, whatever the case may be. Everything I see with this kid is on the ascension. We said this 2 years ago. Maxie's coming there doing his thing. Maxie was the only one to stand up to Joel Embiid and say, "Come on, man, knock it off.
Yeah.
What we doing?" That's leadership. Maxie is um, one of those guys who kind of like playing his position right now. He has a lot to say because he knows what's going on, inside with the Sixers organization and stuff. But maybe he feels like he hasn't built up enough cachet. He's not in a Joel Embiid position to speak to things, or maybe even in a Paul George position because of his reputation in the league. But Maxie, if Maxie was to say that, hey, you know what, man, listen, it's either me or him. It's gonna be him.
It's definitely going to be him.
So the future of the team is not about Joel Embiid, in my opinion. Now I'm watching from you know, up the block. If Joel Embiid is not going to be a part of what the Sixers do, then the process has been processed out.
Mm-hmm.
You got the kid Edgecombe, you got the kid McLean.
Yep.
Okay, those kids can add, bring, and they bring energy because McLean was doing this thing last year, the
Yeah.
rookie. So Edgecombe, so that's consistent. Y'all, your front office knows what they're doing, what they do in their picks. Maxey, McLean, Edgecombe. The one big thing that the dude that y'all still waiting for, it's probably at this point not going to show up. So again, you know, it is what it is. Funny for me to say from the outside looking in. Now, what I say about my Knicks, you know, everybody wants Giannis Antetokounmpo. Broski's talked about his Sixers. Now let me talk about my Knicks one time.
Go right ahead.
I don't want Giannis Antetokounmpo here. I've been saying it. I said it before, and I'll say it again. And no, I never played an NBA game in my life. I got some shots up at Madison Square Garden, though. Right? I did score a couple of baskets at the Garden, playing in a little charity game or whatever, so boom. But, again, I don't want Giannis here. All these so-called Knicks fans, you're not a Knicks fan. You're just somebody who's hoping that a move for a megastar can be made so you can hang your hopes and dreams and aspirations on go New York, go New York, go now that we got Giannis Antetokounmpo. If we get Giannis Antetokounmpo and we give up what you want us to give up for Giannis Antetokounmpo, he might as well keep his ass in Milwaukee. And I'm going to say that again. For all y'all want us to give up the farm for Giannis Antetokounmpo, but what you want us to give up, he might as well stay in Milwaukee because if that trade happens, he's going from Milwaukee light to Milwaukee dark. Straight like that.
Nah.
Straight like that. So, I'm not really with that. Don't feed me Giannis Antetokounmpo. Don't feed me none of those super mega stars where it's about them and only them. It's me and everybody else. Knock it off, please. Then we gotta hit a madness with your whole family and all that. I'm not really, no. That's not, New York is not for that. We don't got no time for that. We're trying to win a championship. We're not trying to win the championship of the back page of the Daily News. Or the championship of the back page of the New York Post. Or the championship of Sports Center. We're not trying to do that. We're trying to give Adam Silver, old mini-me over here, we want him to hand my man James Dolan the trophy, the Larry. That's what we want. And you know what I want? When he hands that trophy, puts the trophy in the owner of the New York Knicks' hands, you know who I want on the stage with him? Charles Oakley, Patrick Ewing, Bernard King, Walt Frazier, John Starks, Latrell Sprewell, Stephon Marbury, Mark Jackson, Carmelo Anthony, all of those dudes. Right? Because it'll feel like everybody won. But that's neither here nor there. Right? All I know is that I don't want this dude coming in here and taking over what we're trying to build. I said it 3 years ago. If we're gonna make a move, when we had Julius Randle, somebody had to go. Who ended up going? Julius Randle. Why? Because Julius Randle ain't do nothing for us in the playoffs against Atlanta. The following year, he did something, but he got hurt. So that washes everything away. Somebody upstairs, be it Scott, right? Be it somebody, Worldwide West, somebody upstairs was like, yo, we can't do this no more. Get this dude out of here. So now we're working with another squad that we're not falling in love with, that we're becoming accustomed to. The OG Ananobis of the world, right? The McBrides of the world, the Towns of the world, the Brunsons of the world, the Josh Harts of the world. Now you want to break that up to bring this dude in here.
Yeah, because you want to give up a lot. Like,
exactly.
you bring in Giannis. Hart
Nah,
gone,
hey, yo, too
and
nah,
Nobi
nah, too little.
gone.
Nope. If the Knicks
Mikael
over
Bridges
broke,
gotta be
go
gone.
ahead, Browski.
You know, you depleting the roster. You just
Thank
gonna have
you.
you probably just gonna have Bronson, Giannis, maybe Cat. Everybody else gone.
And Landry Shamet? No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
McBride.
Right, you know what I mean? Because basically, if you're giving up Giannis Antetokounmpo, Yasubale is gone. Mitchell Robinson probably gone.
Yeah,
McBride probably gone.
yeah,
OG Anunoby probably gone.
yeah. OG
So
gone.
again, yeah. If you do that for Antetokounmpo, what are you bringing back besides Antetokounmpo? Who are you gonna have around him?
His brother, because you know you bring him. The price is too high.
Talking about, hey, what's been our premise for this show? You say you gonna bring Giannis and his brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about somebody who never played the game. Hey, I'm sorry. But we talk it like that. So you are cordially invited to tell a phone, tell a friend, tell somebody that we over here down in sports and we get it in. And it's nothing that, oh well, I said that, I spoke out of turn. Or what else they be saying, Browski? I didn't mean to say that. I
Yeah,
didn't realize
I didn't
it.
realize what
I
I was
was
saying.
high. It didn't come out right. What I meant to say, knock it off. Knock
Yeah,
it off. Right? And all of those terms that we just used come from guys who played the game.
play the game.
So why
Um,
do guys who played the
play the
game have to go
game.
back on their word? Why?
I don't know.
Y'all are so funny to us. You're funny. You're funny to us. We don't have to worry about, we got to make a tagline that makes sure people are going to come and check us out, check out our show, and for clicks and likes, they don't walk away with nothing but a bunch of nonsense. Did you hear what he said? That was so funny. But what did he say that was memorable? What stuck to your ribs? What did you walk away with? What makes you want to come back to the show? We never played the game, but we could talk circles around some of those who did.
Hmm.
And that's real spill right there. Or how they say it, or how they used to say it on the block. That's real deal Holyfield. And now you Jillies and Joes know how I feel. That's bars. But anyway, we're in the building, man. Hard Body on a Saturday night. You already know what it is. Myself, RM Des, you know what I mean? And my co-D over there in the building, a.k.a. Yada Bear, a.k.a. High Ceilings.
Can I say
Let's go,
something
baby.
for a
Yeah,
moment?
let's go.
So earlier, I watched a little college basketball. Um, a little team, I don't know if you're familiar with this team, go by the name Duke, you know, Blue Devils. I don't know if people are familiar with that team, but they got a set of twins down there, Their their father played in the league, uh, Carlos Boozer, yeah,
Loser.
yeah, Boozer, right? Um, his offspring, meaning one in particular, and Cameron Boozer is a beast. Like I knew that they was good, you know. I didn't know they was that good, especially Cameron. Just like watching him play, it's ridiculous. Like they just beat Michigan State today. Duke is ranked number 4, undefeated. I don't understand how they only rank 4. Like to me, I thought they should be number 1. We just seen Purdue lose today also. So maybe the ranking will change. But this guy, uh, Cameron Boozer, 18 points, like 15 rebounds, couple assists. Like he's like the total package. I'm hoping he's not one and done. I would like to see him stay until like at least a sophomore year, just to develop a little bit more.
Develop.
Um, but he's very talented, and he's putting Duke back on the map. You know, a couple years, Duke's been a little, you know, wishy washy. Since the whole, Zion, left there, they kind of took like the back seat. You had the teams like the Houston's and the Purdue's and the Connecticut's, running amok. But I think these guys definitely brought them back to the forefront, and it's actually making me more interested in the men's side right now. Like
Uh-oh.
I've been watching
Uh-oh.
him. I've been watching a lot of Duke games, and it's kind of
Uh-oh.
crazy because I generally don't really like to watch Duke like that, but this kid Cameron he's good. Um, I was more excited seeing him play than Cooper Flag last year. So I got my eye on you, Duke. I got my eye on you. I just don't want this kid to go, one and done. But um, Purdue only put up 58 points against Iowa State. Like they got shut down today. It was embarrassing. Number one
They was
team.
waiting. They was waiting for Zach Edey to come to the building.
They were waiting for somebody because, geez, like that was crazy. But it's still early. Still early on. Even though we're in the college range, the other day, we had LSU women's versus Duke also, and there was a lot of talk about, they was like, oh, Fly J Johnson were kind of like disrespectful to Carol Lawson, who is the Duke head coach, who also is the head coach of the USA women's basketball team. That Fly J was a part of. They won the gold medal and everything too, and like you know she was chirping at her a little bit, but I said, well, that's a part of the game. It's very competitive. You may chirp at the bench a little bit. All right. It wasn't like she was saying anything disrespectful, to her, coming at her all sideways.
Mhm.
It's again with the double standard with women in sports. It's a competitive sports. These are competitors out there who are playing at one of the highest levels, you know, of their craft. So if she feel like she's feeling it, and she's talking, that's fine. No one said anything when the guys out there talking, chirping at each other, chirping at the bench. Nobody's saying anything. The game was really good. The addition of Malaysia Fluwali um, working out wonderful for LSU. But what's crazy to me, she still has the same role that she did when she was in South Carolina, coming off the bench, playing starting minutes. So maybe there was a little bit more going on there, between her and Dawn or her and the rest of the team. But um, with her there, Fly J, and the other kid, Michaela Williams, that threesome, Kim Monkey has something going. She has something good going there. So, we'll see how that develops for the rest of the year. But it's still early. You know, we're just starting to really get into the college basketball season. And as we have always said on Down in Sports, the season don't start until the conference tournament. That's when the season starts. Not the NCAA tournament. Like all of this right here is just to me preseason. When the conference tournament starts, that's when the season starts, and then the NCAA tournament. That's my little college basketball spill. Because I was just flipping through the channels, and something caught my eye. I said, "Oh, look at Duke." I said, "Dad, this guy Cameron Bruiser pretty good." I think his brother was hurt. That's why he didn't play. But I was like, man, he's pretty good. So
Um,
keep an eye on him.
Browski sowing the seeds of, discontent or content. She's putting her seeds down now, so when they blossom in March, like, see, I told you.
Yeah.
Um, Me, I'm Syracuse all day in Syracuse. Um, just watching the growth of
Kaya.
Ryan Anthony and nice drop, and
But yeah, you saw a drop.
how his progression. Right, we're not even talking about Adrian Autry, who's the coach.
Yeah.
Right, so to me that's a good thing. Let Cayenne do what he does.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, I'm so interested in seeing how Syracuse plays against a UConn or a Villanova or St. John's even. You know what I mean? So for me, all this is Kion and the rest of the Syracuse basketball team getting the experience.
Yeah.
Because when March comes, games that they play now are March like,
Mm-hmm.
right? So they're expecting big things. So I feel like
There you go.
I don't need Syracuse to be top three, top five. I need them to be consistent. I need them to be ready when tournament time comes. I need them to have a strong draw when because they are one of the top 68 teams in the nation right now.
Yeah.
Now, as we speak, this second,
Yeah.
Syracuse Orange one of the top 68 teams in the nation, right? And I expect for them to be in the draw when the teams get announced. Okay. With that being said, again, we're in the early stages of college basketball. Our attention is being divided with the college football playoff and the NBA and the WNBA and the women's
Mm-hmm.
side of college basketball and the baseball winter meetings and the NFL and you know what I mean. The World Cup is coming. The World Baseball Classic is coming. Yeah. So 2025 has been a crazy year. Please believe it. We're going to start our, little year-end wrap-up thing a little early. We're on, stretching it out tonight. So we talk about some things because we got a couple of shows left in 2025.
Yeah.
Right? So, again, we've been chopping it up all year long, and the year's gone by like, phew. Did you see that? The year just went by.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Yep.
Crazy, Bowski. We was just talking about Major League All-Star game in Atlanta. Seemed like 2 weeks ago. Now, people getting ready to go Christmas shopping and all of that. So, again, what are one of the things from 2025 that you bring with you and you remember, or that was kind of like that caught your attention in 2025?
Well, of course, the championship.
Oh
Talking
Lord,
about.
oh
What are you
God.
talking about? 2025. Oh my God. Eagles winning Super Bowl
You was just
champion.
waiting for that, huh? I do
Yes.
Bowski the alley oop on that one.
That's the highlight of the year. And like you said, the year is going by so fast where we're on the horizon of the NFL playoffs. Okay, we're about to crown another Super Bowl champion. Who knows who it will be? But that has been like the highlight of this year. We're still on the Super Bowl high. It's crazy to think that having the year that we had prior, that we would flip the switch and return to the Super Bowl against the Chiefs and dominated them like that. You know, like it was cool to be in the Super Bowl, amazing to win it, but to win it in that type of fashion was crazy. I did not expect to see a game like that. With us versus the Chiefs, I thought it was going to be like a dogfight at the end, but it was like the game was won in the second quarter. Like the game was over in the third quarter. It was like this is crazy. Like it was like a magical like game. Like this is something like you see on like in like a movie, like a sports movie or something. So that to me, definitely one of the biggest highlights of this past year, was that Super Bowl celebration. This seeing the parade, seeing the confetti in the air, just being on that high, that Super Bowl high. It was amazing. So, when we talk about the year, that's number one. I got to start out right there. What
Oh
about
yeah.
you?
For me, wow, I can think of a couple of things, right? Um, First one that jumps off the screen for me is how everybody was kind of like having the Dodgers win 150 games. The Dodgers rocked everybody to sleep. Now that we do the knowledge, we're in December now, get ready for the winter meetings, and like it went from Otani and his interpreter, and went to what happened to Mookie Betts, and the other Japanese guys doing Yamamoto's doing his thing, and these aren't the same Dodgers. The Dodgers, there's no way they can go to the World Series, and no way they can do that. Here comes September and October.
Yep.
The Dodgers are doing Dodger things, and all of a sudden they play a little team from up north, the Blue Jays, in a great World Series.
Great.
Dare
Yeah.
I say classic? Dare I say it?
Yes.
Dare I say classic World Series? And I've
You
seen a
can.
lot
Yeah.
of them,
Yes.
right? So for me, even though not having the Yankees in the World Series and having two dynamic teams in the World Series, 'cause baseball is my favorite sport.
Mhm.
So that for me, I kind of fronted on the World Series until I watched the World Series, and I'm like, oh my goodness, what is this?
This is. I
And
mean,
again,
we had what? How many innings?
18.
18 inning. We had an 18 inning
Yeah.
World Series
So
game.
you got so you technically, since they like to talk in technical terms, you got 8 games for
Yes.
the price of 7.
Yes. Like,
You know what I mean? They're
who
not
would
going to
have
tell you that.
thought?
They won't tell you that on ESPN.
Like who would have thought in this day and age,
Hmm.
with all the rule changes, the pitch count, the bigger bases, all of that, that we would have gotten an 18 inning World Series game. Who thought that was going to happen? You would think 18 innings, you'll be thinking, oh, we must be talking something that happened in the 70s, maybe the 80s, probably the 60s. No, we're talking about 2025 Dodgers and the Blue
Blue Jays,
Jays going
18
18
innings,
innings and then play the next day.
and then play the next day.
Crazy.
Um, to me, the worst thing, I mean, the best thing, I can't really speak to a best because none of my teams really won anything. The betting scandals, the proliferation of the betting, how betting has become something that you just did just to do, but now it's turned into like a career for some people.
Yeah.
Their livelihood is based on betting, and I think that with the basketball thing, it was talked about, and we kind of like just busted off. Oh, this one guy in Toronto, then you hear about this guy, that guy. Your eyebrows start to raise, and the way things was happening, and mafia, and all, it's real salacious.
Yeah.
But that's where sports and life intersect and interact. You know what I mean? So I think that now as we get ready to go into 2026, we haven't even scratched the surface of the gambling stuff yet. We're seeing people
No.
now that's right in front of our face falling down and having these mysterious cramps and running out of bounds, and it's crazy. And so now everything has to be looked as skeptical. Why did he do that? Let's go back to a videotape from another game. What did he do that was similar? You know what I mean? So everything is being scrutinized and double
Hmm.
watched, things of that nature. So that brings me back to what Kimmy was talking about earlier in the show, where it's like the love of the sport. As kids, we watch a game and we don't know what's going to happen, and we're feeling like it's spontaneous. And this guy makes a great catch, and this guy does this to win the game. All of
Hmm.
us now we find out as adults that somebody's upstairs, like the Wizard of Oz, banging out the script,
Pulling the levers, turning knobs, pushing buttons.
all that, all of that. So again, we just do what we do over here. We talk about it from our perspective and what we feel. We're not trying to be pinpoint, accurate, and correct. But in the sports game, you deal with numbers, so you have to be more correct than not. You know what I mean? So again, at the end of the day, we talk about what we talk about, and if you don't like it, so what? We don't care. Down in sports, we are in the building all day long. You know what I mean? Hitting you with 2+ hours on a Saturday. Because Browski said, let's do this, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's do this, man. All right?
Yeah.
So this is what we're doing. So this is Browski's favorite part of the show. We're just going to relax and smooth on out right now. Take your time, Browski. We're going to do what we do. This is the part of the show that we like to call Get Down on It. What we getting down on, Browski? Take your time.
All right. Well, I'm getting down on MLB winter meetings. Being
Hold up.
held.
Hold up. This is not rehearsed.
Oh
We
no, you're
talk
gonna talk
about
about the
this.
same thing?
Browski's like somewhere in here, somewhere. And she said, you know what? Let me snatch black one. And she happened to pick. Go ahead, bro. I'm gonna flip my thing. Go ahead. I'm not even gonna talk about what the meeting. Go
Ah,
ahead.
no, I'm just saying because
That's down in sports right here.
this this year, this upcoming year is actually extremely important because we are on the verge of a possible lockout in 2027. Um, salary caps, is on the table. Things like that.
Robot
So
umps.
say it again.
The robot umps.
Yeah, robot umps. A lot of things. We're going to see robot umps. This upcoming season. Um, the player union. Has been going 10 toes deep with the commissioner. Bryce Harper yelling at him, other guys coming at him crazy. It hasn't been really civil, and when you think about all the changes that's happening in this upcoming season and in the future, it's like, well, it's very possible that we could see a lockout in like 2027, 2028 season. And the last time we had a lockout, the lockout robbed one of the greatest dual sports player a championship in Deion Sanders. He possibly the Braves probably would have won a World Series that year. Deion probably would have won a World Series, and the lockout happened. He went back to the NFL, and that was it. And then the Braves won the World Series. Like it was a little weird. Um, to say all that, and then us keeping an eye on free agency. There's a lot of free agents that's notable players. Me being in Philly, the guy that I'm looking at is Kyle Schwarber. He is a free agent, and it's very possible that on Monday we will find out if this guy is signing with us or going somewhere else. He's a major part of our team. You have other guys like Alex Bregman, Kyle Tucker, Pete Alonso, um, uh, uh, um,
Joe
uh,
Ryan.
Joe Ryan, Bro Gucci. It's like, you know, it's just a lot of things is going to happen next season. A lot of teams going to look different. We thought last year was, a little wild, with players going to new teams, but this year it's like it could change the whole format of the season, and it could change where these teams land. How these divisions will shake up. So I'm just interested to see what's going to happen at these winter meetings. Um, are they going to be the civilized meetings? Because baseball can get a little tight. Like those meetings, I feel like baseball meetings.
Right, right. They
Like,
did it.
whoa, get a little spicy. You know, you're like, whoa, wait a minute, like these old guys are
That baseball, right? Don't mess with that baseball. That's right.
yeah,
That's right.
it's you know they get a little spicy. You know, we
That's
all talk
right.
about how like the players be getting spicy. Now these owners, you know, in those meetings, some of the things that came out those meetings is like, whoa, you know, that's what's happening. But you know, that's what I'm getting down on. I'm just waiting to see the outcome from the meeting and to see, you know, when and you know where these players are going to land at because at these winning meetings it's not just about the league. These guys are making deals right there. So so after these meetings are over, you're going to see a whole bunch of free agencies, a whole bunch of free agent moves being placed, you know, like back to back to back to back because these guys are sitting there making deals at these winter meetings, you know. So that's what I'm getting down on. What are you getting down on?
Listen, I was going to talk about the winter meetings, and somebody just stole my thing, but I'm going to add on to what Browski was talking about. She mentioned two things. She mentioned that you know this baseball winter meeting is going to be very important, and the possibility of a lockout, work stoppage.
So yeah,
Now, as a franchise going into this baseball winter meeting, so that it'll be very, very important. You have some very important, players out there. Browski already mentioned the Kyle Schwarbers of the world, Pete Alonso's, Kyle Tuckers, and things of that nature. Clay Bellingers. Um, are you trying to snatch these guys up for next season? But you got to think about beyond. So that
exactly.
would make you think, like, damn, what are we doing? This
Hmm.
guy, we paid this guy $400 million for 10 years, and he plays 1 year, and then there's a work stoppage.
Yeah.
He still gets paid,
Yep.
right? So again, they have that. That's why Down in Sports is the place to be because we're gonna tell you stuff like this winter meeting is gonna be very, very interesting. Why, you may ask? And that's coming from two people who never played the game, right? So again, we tell you this baseball winter meeting is going to be important for a number of reasons. It's going to be important for a number of reasons. Um, I wanted to see where the owners were going to, see if they can really, make a $500 million contract a regular thing. Like Georgia just scored again, a regular
Yep.
thing. So, the contracts are getting a little absurd. Um,
Sure. Hey.
Somebody's going to have to earn one of those $400 million contracts. Now, Otani has
He
earned
has.
his,
He has.
right? So again, that's the mark a lot of these players should be shooting for. Is Paul Skeens going to get traded? I don't think so. Is
I
Terrence
don't think
Scoble
so.
going to get traded?
Now that, which is crazy that you would think that Screwball will stay in Detroit because Detroit has a a decent team
That's right.
versus the Pirates that's a bag of garbage.
So
I mean, I only can look. I can only see with my eyes. I only know what my eyes show me when I look at the Pittsburgh Pirates. The franchise has been hot garbage, and this guy Paul Skeen is wasting his talent on a team that's going nowhere.
I will respond to that with this. You better watch out for the Pittsburgh Pirates. You better hope Kyle Schwarber don't sign with the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Pittsburgh Pirates are not. I don't know if it's the upcoming potential work stoppage, or they finally, woke up and said, "Yo, we gotta, go in our pockets a little bit." But the Pittsburgh Pirates not playing. The Pittsburgh Pirates are going to come out of this winter meetings with somebody. I don't know who that somebody going to be, but the Pittsburgh Pirates are tired of being April and May's champion. We always talk about that. The Pittsburgh Pirates are 8-1 in April. Oh my God, they go to the World Series. They lose 100 games.
Okay.
So I'm like, put some respect on the Pirates' name. I'm gonna say that, and I'm also gonna say the Yankees have to do something. You know, um, Steinbrenner is already putting that out there that luxury tax. And, don't use that excuse. If you want to go get somebody, Jason Dominguez can be had. Bellinger can be had. Volpe can be had. Hell, if you could get Alex Bregman in here, get McMahon out of here. But it brings me back to this. This is what I want to get down. Sonny Gray. Nah, son. You had the unmitigated gall and audactic nerve to say that you want to go on a team that really hates the Yankees. But when you was pitcher here, we hated you. And we're not talking about hate in a Mother Goose type of way. We really hated you, B. I was at one of the games that Sonny Gray pitched against Cleveland.
Uh-huh.
Nah. I'm glad you're not on the Yankees. We don't want you anyway. So he goes to the Boston Red Sox. He got traded from the Cardinals to the Boston Red Sox. You're trying to add some and some something to a rivalry that don't need any don't need any addition from you, Sonny Gray. As soon as you throw on that Red Sox uniform, it's on and popping. Whether it's the yellow one, the blue one, the dark blue one, the white one, whichever one. And when you come to Yankee Stadium, when the Red Sox come to Yankee Stadium, I'm telling you right now, and I'm saying right now, as an unabashed Yankee fan, don't bring your family. Don't bring your family to Yankee Stadium. Don't do it. Nobody's feeling sorry for you. You stood up there as a man, and you said that you hate the Yankees. You played for us. Now, was you throwing home run pitches on purpose? Was you cheating the game? Do we got to look at your videotapes?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm getting down on. And I also want to get down on this. The NFL game picks in our Facebook group. The people who come up with the ideas and stuff like that, make it so it could be fun. And so even though you might not be able to pick 10 winners a week or whatever the case may be, you still have a chance.
Mm-hmm.
We have this thing in our group called Picks and Locks. When you pick your lock, a lock is a guaranteed win. I'm surprised some people didn't know what that was. That bugged me out. But a lock is a guaranteed win. So this particular season, the locks are saving some people, myself included. I made a little list
Uh-oh.
of how things are going, or things moving,
Mm-hmm.
going into week 14 in the NFL season. Let me clear my throat.
Oh, okay.
In first place is the defending champion who you're looking at right now. Last week I went 10-6. For the season, I'm 140 up and 64 down. Now that 140 may seem like a lot, but that's my two locks. You add 10 points onto my two locks. So I really have 130, but who's counting? In second place, at 130 wins, I ain't gonna say no names, but they right over there. They right over there.
Oh, me. Oh, my
In
God.
second place,
It's me.
Brodsky was 11-5 last week and holds on to 130 and 74 for the season. Very, very good. Next coming up is Sonny Cruz. And last year we couldn't figure him out. He was 11-2, 12-2.
Oh my God, he was
All
killing
season
it,
long. Skilled the
killing
game.
it.
But the locks messed him up. Shout out to Jada Styles and P. The locks messed Sonny Cruz up. 10-6 last week for Sonny Cruz. His record is 129-70. Not bad.
Mm-mm.
But it's not 130 and got Bears.
I mean,
Then we got at a tie, we got Slate. Salute to Slate, Newborn Sky. Salute. Slate went 8-8 last week. His record for the season is 115-69. Then here comes Kia.
mm-hmm.
Kia has been wrecking it all year long on the low, yo. She been rocking it. I don't
Yes,
know
yes,
what run a crystal ball and she got to connect with Miss Cleo upstairs or something. I
for
don't know.
real, for real.
But Kia is killing the game. But you know what's messing Kia up though? She knew what the locks was.
Uh-huh.
I said, you ain't see that versus? No, I'm just
Mm-hmm.
she didn't, but 115-60 is not bad at all. And she's
Mm-hmm.
very, very, consistent all week. Twin Fawns, 12-4 last week. 109-75.
Mm-hmm.
Reason why some of the records are often skewed because some people may have missed a week and or things of that nature. We add or we take away when you hit your lock or you miss your lock.
Yeah.
So again, somebody's in first place. We ain't gonna get too happy about that because it's still some season left. But we are in here. The next week for Pick Your Locks will be week 16. So we did it in week 10. We did it in week 13, and we're going to
Mm-hmm.
do it again in week 16. So just because you may be behind now, don't
Hey.
go 5 or 10. And you can pick 2 locks if you want.
Oh. Oh.
If you want to jump out the window, you can pick 3 locks if you want.
No,
Some
look
people
at
might need the
you.
points.
Listen,
Some
don't
people
don't
might
have
need
me
the
out there
points.
rolling in.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You can pick 3 locks. Just know if your locks hit, you get those points. If your locks don't hit, uh, uh, you know what I mean? So that's how that goes. And we in the building, man. We love doing this, man. We've been doing this for a long, long time now. You know what I mean? And we're gonna keep on doing it, man. We had to hit y'all with the extracurricular extended show tonight because
Mm-hmm.
that's how we do. You know what I mean? And we got a couple of shows left for 2025. I guess Tuesday night, Brosky. We're gonna hit them with the stuff like we always hit y'all with,
Yes.
right? Um, but we might come back depending on what. Oh yeah, because Browski's got to end with the elves and all that, so she got to hang out with the elves for that time of year with the elves and all that is
Listen,
for needing Browski's help. So Browski, you know what I mean. So the schedule for the couple of shows that we got left remaining for 2025,
maybe a
you know what I
little.
mean. We're gonna
Yeah.
work around Browski's schedule because she got the elves and stuff. That's her crew. You know what I mean? That she got to hang out with them, make sure
Gotta
that they
get it
got
together.
all their ducks in a row and all that. So we'll definitely keep y'all posted. We definitely got a couple more shows to rock with y'all before this year is out. We here, we in the building. You already know what it is. That's Browski over there, aka Yada Bear. Get at her on Twitter, Facebook, IG, all that good stuff. Left-handed at RM Desk on Twitter, which is this right now. Get at me, our partners. You already know the vibes. Salute to everybody that's rocking with the odds, man. Appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Again, I really don't know how to act or react to that because again, it's whatever to me, man. But we appreciate the vibes, man. People have been rocking out. We're getting a couple of emails like, "Yo, we appreciate the music." Like, "Oh, it's different." Okay, I rock with that. You know what I mean? Actually, working on some new stuff right now. Getting ready for the micro edition. That's my solo doing called the micro edition. Then I got the macro edition coming in 2026. So again, Cats is working, man. The brains is working, the pens is working, all that good stuff, man. And your boys can rhyme, not rap. Your boys can rhyme. They're really nice with it. You know what I'm saying? So again, at the end of the day, nobody gets killed, nobody gets hurt, nobody gets stabbed in the making of our music. Feelings might get hurt, but that comes with the territory. Again, RM Desk, left-handed in the building. That's Browski out of Bear, number 1 over there, aka High Ceilings, aka Rain, Sleet, Hail, and Snow. You already know how the thing go. And
Mm-hmm.
that's how we do it, man. Hope everybody enjoyed their Thanksgiving. My plate grade for Thanksgiving: A plus 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 plus.
Nice.
National championship plate
There you
all
go.
day.
There you go.
National championship plate, World Series plate, PGA golf plate, March Madness plate, all the plates rolled up. And and I say that because I participated this year. I got my little Betty Crocker, my elbows and some stuff, looking good. But we're in the building all day long. We are here. Tuesday night, we'll get it cracking, and hopefully, me and the rest of y'all year plans it out. Get your coats out, your hoodies.
Yeah.
It's that time of year. Hospitals waiting on y'all like Birdman rubbing his hands together with the pneumonia and all that. We don't want to see y'all in there. All right. Enjoy the rest of the college football playoffs. Enjoy everything else. The winter meetings are coming up, yo. So boxing tonight. Pitbull and Lamont Roach getting
Yeah.
it in.
Yeah.
Let us know how you feel about that. Um, some good fights are coming up. Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez. That's been January
Mhm.
26th. So we're going to be talking about that. Um, Basketball season about to be on full tilt. NFL heading towards the playoffs. Major League
Yep.
Baseball, winter meetings, NCAA, NBA, all that good stuff. John Cena's getting ready. Had his when
Final.
is that Saturday night main event, Rosky?
December 13th. Last
Okay,
match
so that's
against
next week.
yeah, against Gunther. He's gonna fight the guy
Who
named
the hell is
Gunther.
Gunther? Who the
He's
hell is that?
he's a good guy. He's a good wrestler. It should be interesting. Final match. He said this is it. He says once he's done, he's never wrestling again. And I believe him when he says that. I believe him because a lot of these wrestlers say they'll retire, but then they'll come back and
Oh
have a
yeah.
couple matches here and there. But John
Mm-hmm.
Cena said that he's never getting back in the ring again, and I believe him. I believe
Okay.
him. Yeah.
Um,
So yeah, we'll
how
talk
do you,
about that.
how do you think the end of his career is playing out?
Um, I think I actually think it's pretty good. It's basically like a retirement tour.
Mm-hmm.
He wrestled some of his um biggest rivalries. Seeing that being rehashed and seeing him going against a newer upcoming star in the WWE for his final match. Um, I think it's a good thing. That was
If
something that
you
he
were
was.
if you were writing the script for John Cena's final match and the WWE moving forward, how would you what would be the outcome of the script that you write?
Um, well, one, he would have a title because to me, him with a belt fighting in his final match would be more of a passing of a torch. You know, him not having a belt right now, fighting his last match is kind of throw a little bit of
It's kind of
salt on it.
anticlimactic.
Yeah,
I can
it's
see
like,
that.
well, you it doesn't matter if he win or lose, he's retiring anyway. So it's not like you put him in retirement. It's just like he's gonna retire regardless if he loses the match or wins the match. So I think if I was writing the script, he would have a title and he will lose. It will be a great match. It would be a really good show. He'll look good, but I think at the end he will lose and he will hand over the title and basically usher in the next generation.
Who's the next John Cena or the person that you see that has that effect? Because when John Cena came in 20 plus years ago, we kind of seen it.
Um, I to me there would never be another John Cena. John Cena was the ultimate like baby face. Right now we don't really have an ultimate baby face type of guy. Right now we have it's like a collection of like really talented guys.
Hmm.
Um, the one guy that they're looking to push. His name is Brian Breaker. He is the son of, I want to say, Rick Snyder from the Snyder brothers. That's his son.
Oh, all right, Rick Steiner.
So he's good. He has that, he has that in
Yeah,
him.
Scott Steiner was Papa Pump, right?
Yes.
So okay,
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. So he has that
Don't
in
tell
him.
nobody else. Don't tell nobody I said that. I understand.
Well, I mean, they heard you, so they heard you. But I mean, he's the next guy. But right now, we're just enjoying John Cena's last couple appearances, and now we are down to the final match on the 13th next Saturday. Next Saturday is the end of the era of John Cena. You know, so
Yeah, and on that note, we're just gonna let y'all know that Down in Sports does what Down in Sports does. We talk about it. We're all over the place with it, but it all comes back to where it's supposed to be. That's Yada Bear over there again. All right,
all right.
left-handed. We are in the building. Don't go nowhere, Boston. We are in the building, and we'll see y'all Tuesday, man. It's been hard to paint for y'all for 2 hours. We was all over the place with it. We touched on a lot of stuff. Um, we'll see what happens. Tuesday when we come, we'll talk about who's going to be in the college football playoffs and who's not.
Exactly. Yeah.
Um, and we'll get on it like that. All right, so
Mhm.
y'all be peace wherever y'all go. Enjoy, you know what I mean, the rest of 2025 and all that good stuff. Stay warm because the snow has decided to make an appearance. So you
Yeah.
already know what it is. All right, we out. Y'all be peace. Bowski don't run away. All
Peace.
right, Down in Sports says peace.